Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ina and today we have another video about Phalaenopsis orchids. So basically I have to do a few reportings and access a few plants. I have a few things that I need to sort out. One of the things is I have lots of plants producing keikis. This is one good example. As you can see, the keikis here. So today we're going to talk a little bit about orchids, keikis, mainly Phalaenopsis keikis, and I'm going to be removing this keiki and reporting it separately from the mother plant. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please come along. I'm sorry about the noise. We have some builders, I think, in one of the flats below me, so I hope it's not disturbing the video too much. Without further ado, the first thing that I want to tell you is that keikis are tiny little baby plants. Apparently keiki is a word that comes from Hawaii and means the little one. That's exactly what they are. They are produced by the mother plants and they are babies that are identical to their mothers because it has been asexually produced, which means that there was no flowers involved, there was no pollination in there. So there are a few things. There are healthy plants that produce keikis. It's not only unhealthy plants. I'm showing you now one of my healthy Phalaenopsis. To be honest, it was stressed. I rescued it last year. But then as soon as I hydrated, it grows leaves and it was looking amazing. But after it bloomed, it decided to sprout one keiki from its base, from one of its nodes. And the keiki is growing with the mother plant. It's looking quite nice. And the keiki produced one spike. I don't know why. The mother plant decided not to bloom this season. But the keiki is blooming. The spike is going to be much longer than its parent, its plant. So it's quite interesting. So that's one example. Another example that I'm showing you now, it's a dendrobium keiki. They look a little bit different from Phalaenopsis keiki, but it's the same thing. As you can see, it's a tiny baby plant attached to the mother plant, to its nodes. And another one that I have here is this one. So what's the problem here? Talking about the keikis, and they are identical to the mother plant. Some plants, they decide to sprout one keiki. This one is coming through one spike. So it used to be a spike. A flower spike can create flowers, but can also produce cakes. So luckily, I left some space here. I didn't know the plant was not growing anymore in any sense and decided to grow this keiki. What I think happening here, I showed you one healthy plant that produced one keiki. That's one case. But in this case, I don't think the mother plant is really healthy. Why? Because I bought it in a supermarket last year. So what I noticed is that we had distorted leaves. Some of them were burned when I bought it. It's a beautiful plant and was very cheap. It's the Phalaenopsis Sweet Girl Shine Girl. I will place some pictures of the blooms here in the screen. It is on this terracotta pot. That's not the problem. The problem is that I noticed, although it has roots and everything, it never produced a new leaf for the last year. This is the last leaf that came ripped from the supermarket. So I just suspect this plant is stressed, and I don't know if it will still produce new leaves and grow, or if that's it. Or if this the plant's last try to survive. I don't know, let's see. But this video today is to show you how this cakes looks on a plant. If you don't know, if you have a Phalaenopsis and you see a little tiny plantlet coming through the spike, that's a keiki. You can easily remove these and gift it to a friend or pot it together, or I don't know, or pot it separately and have like lots of plants that look like the same. So it's a quite nice way to propagate Phalaenopsis. There are some cake pastes on the supermarket, not on the supermarket, sorry, on the market. I'm sure you can find on Amazon, but I have never tested one, so I cannot feedback you on that. But I know that you can use cake paste, place it in one of the nodes of the flower spike, and you may have a keiki of that Phalaenopsis. If it's one that you like so much, you can try to propagate it. I have never tried, so I cannot tell you if it's good or not. The only thing is, keikis, like flower spikes, they do consume energy from the mother plant. So if your plant is stressed, don't do this. Only try to grow keikis if you have a healthy plant, or if you have an unhealthy plant that you know you won't survive, so the last chance is to produce a keiki. So then, yeah, do it. I hope what I'm saying it makes sense. I'm sorry if it's not. But yeah, that's what I had to tell you about keikis. What I'm gonna do now is showing you. I filmed this cake separately, so I'm thinking about removing it because the roots are getting green when I water them. It means that they are absorbing water already. So what I'm gonna do here, it's basically, I think I'm gonna cut, can you see the flower spike here? So I will cut below the node and we'll pot these nodes with the plant just to avoid disturbing these roots, because the only thing that this plant has to survive are these 3 roots and these leaves. So I need to take really good care of these. Remember, these are babies, so are quite sensitive. It's very important to be really careful with those. The way to know if you should remove your keiki or not is the root should have around 15 centimeters and also should green up when you water it. It means that it's absorbing water on its own, so it doesn't need the mother plant anymore. I have other Phalaenopsis with keikis at the moment. They don't have roots yet. So one of them, it had a crown rot. So that's why I decided to create 2 new keikis to survive. And it doesn't have enough roots, so the roots are not long enough, so I won't disturb them now. This one I want to separate from the mother plant, and I want to also check if the mother plant will continuously grow or if it has some underlying issues that I can't see, and that's it. So let's do it now. Let's remove this keiki, pot it separately. Fingers crossed, my cake will grow and develop well. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna look for some scissors and I get my tray with some sphagnum moss and bark. That's how I pot them. And I will come back and show you how I will repot this keiki. So I'm back. I have already here my tray with some bark, some moss, slow release fertilizer, a 9 centimeters pot. I have everything that I need here on the table. I'm going to use my daughter's scissor. I think it will work fine. So what I want to do is, I don't want to disturb the roots. Trying to go to the base. No, it won't be fine. I'm coming back in 1 second. I have some proper scissors now. The other ones didn't work out. I have to be really, really careful here. So I'm done. That's what I'm left with. I'll put the mother plant first there. So that's my keiki with 3 roots. So this one is the one that's absorbing water. I hope the other one will start too soon. So let's see how I can place this here. I hope this pot is filled up with root very, very soon. So I'm gonna do as I do with everything else. This is a keiki, so moss is usually very, very nice to new roots. So I will use more moss here just because of that. I want something that won't disturb the roots. It will start absorbing water soon, all of the roots, and hopefully they will be fine, since that's my chance actually to rescue this plant. This plant's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. I posted pictures on one of Facebook groups about orchids and got quite surprised that I found it at the supermarket. I don't know if you guys do this. Please let me know if you also do it. But I love walking around and discovering places that sell orchids, or even going to some supermarkets. Not all of them here in the UK, but there are some of them that sometimes they bring things, new things or different things. For example, M&S, Mark and Spencer, is one of the supermarkets that usually you can find sometimes something interesting there. I was quite lucky. I found very interesting orchids there. I was working from home, so I had time every day at lunchtime to go and walk and look around. That's what I do, actually. I like researching and checking where I can find. It's better to find things locally than buying, I think, from far away. Anyway, yeah, so that's one of the things. I love buying plants locally when I can and when I find. and it is possible to find nice Phalaenopsis online. So what I'm gonna do now, help these beads and these pieces of bark find its way through the medium. It's full of air pockets, so gently, gently, gently. You can also try to squeeze the pot a little bit. Honestly, I think it's okay now. So I will place a little bit more of bark on the top because there are some moss here and it attracts algae. So I don't want to see it full of algae soon. That's the last thing that I'm doing. I think I'm done with my Keiki reporting. Hello, little one. I hope. I'm sorry about the noise. I hope it will grow nicely. I'm gonna give it some water now, placing a nice decorative pot, and I will come back with my table completely cleaned to show you how my plant is. Okay, 1 second. So guys, that's it. I have finished. This is my beautiful Keiki little one. That's the mother plant. I don't know what to do about the mother plant yet. I will wait a little bit and check if it's growing. It may show other signs, but for now it has roots. It's not pushing out any leaves, but that's everything that I know for now. And the leaves got hurt in the supermarket. They were very mistreated. That's one thing. Our cake is reported. As a conclusion, you can safely remove cakes when they have roots that are long enough, and you can have new plants that you can share with people and then you can keep for yourself. I will keep this one because I don't know what will happen with its mother. If the mother plant decides to grow nicely, so then I can maybe give to this one to someone, but I'll have to wait now and see. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope to see you soon. Please hit the like button. I'd love to hear from you, so you can leave a comment down below and subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. Another thing is I have an Instagram account where I post pictures from my flowers, my blooms. Also, I have some stories showing what's happening around my growing room. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram as well, I am one orchid a day in all different platforms. Thank you very much for being here today. Bye-bye.